Go ahead.
Okay, so when it comes to introducing and spreading Japanese food culture, there's a problem. And the problem is that traditional Japanese cuisines with traditional ingredients may not be easily accepted to all of the wants and tastes of the global society. So there's raw fish, miso soup, natto, seaweed paper, and white rice. And they look and even smell very unusual and unfamiliar. And that's why a lot of foreigners aren't willing to take the risk of tasting Japanese food. Well, some methods actually do enable people of different cultures and taste to venture into the complex world of Japanese food. So let's take a look. Okay, so do you guys know what they are? Yes. They're California rolls, and basically they are a classic to American sushi. And well, they are a novel evolution from the classic Japanese sushi. And right now, nearly every Japanese restaurant in the United States, they serve California rolls. And believe it or not, they go for more than $30 in like fancy restaurants, but then some Walmarts stock them in their refrigerated aisles too. So I'm going to explain how California rolls came to be an integral part of familiarizing Americans with Japanese sushi. Well, in the 1960s, avocado was hardly a traditional sushi ingredient, but then a Tokyo Kaikan chef named Ichiro Mashita, he went seeking for a substitute for bluefin tuna to use in California rolls. And he used avocados. And he started with avocados for its fattiness, and then mixed it with king crab meat in order to get the seaweed flavor going. And the first California rolls were very simple. They composed of avocados and king crab meat mix, and rice, and they were wrapped in seaweed. And additional ingredients like mayonnaise and sesame seeds and cucumbers and scallions were added later as other chefs started experimenting with their own versions. So let's look at some other examples. This is Japada, which is a food stand in Vancouver. And well, the name says it all, but they sell Japanese-style hot dogs. And Japada started in 2005 with an ambitious Japanese couple who moved from Japan to Vancouver. And well, they dreamed of a world-famous hot dog stand. And since they were Japanese, they thought it would be interesting to combine Japanese food culture with hot dogs. And it worked. And Japada got more and more attention by the public, with word of mouth, and by the media. So there's teri mayo, and then there's okonomi, and then there's yakisoba, there's ebi tempura, and tonkatsu. And they also sell Japanese-style French fries as well, and yes, they're called Japanese. So there's awanori fries, and butter and soy sauce, and wasabi. And to foreigners, apparently they taste good, and maybe some Japanese might find it tasty as well. Okay, so all the examples, they are called fusion foods. Fusion foods are foods that are made from two different cultures, and they're combined together to make a new and unique original taste. And the objective and the whole purpose of fusion foods is to try and persuade people to go looking out for new and unique tastes, and to get a glimpse into other cultures as well. Okay, so lastly, let's look at some the ways in which fusion foods have proved themselves to be considered a significant way to upgrade local cuisine to an international level. And I'm going to show you some pics of the cuisines by Chef Masaharu Morimoto, who's also known as Iron Chef Morimoto. This is spicy lobster soup, and it's basically lobster soup made with dashi, but then they have jalapeno peppers in it. And This is tomo tartar, and there's seaweed paste and wasabi and sour cream and rice crackers and guacamole. And this is fig tempura, and the figs are battered and crispy and thin tempura, and they also include peanut butter ginger and also like spicy chili powder. So it's like creamy and crunchy and spicy and sweet and sour and well, like basically every aspect of deliciousness you could experience in one whole bite. And they combine a lot of contrasting flavors. And as you can see from all these examples, Masaharu, Iron Chef Masaharu, he's like the master of combining Western ingredients with Japanese food culture. And the chef himself, he considers cooking as forms of art and entertainment. And he tries to persuade people to just go looking out for new and original taste. So all of the examples, now that you've seen all the examples of fusion foods and how they kind of entertain people and make people want to go and seek out for new food cultures, it all leads us to one single question. Well, what does this all mean? And I thought that as much as it is vital to preserve and protect the genuine Japanese food culture, they may not be accepted to the global society as they have completely different tastes and aromas. So in order to get more people across borders, if more people in the world try out Japanese food, we should think about adding twists to the taste of Japanese food culture. And we should kind of arrange the conventional dishes so that people would find them interesting. And some may argue that if we do so too much, we may be at risk of losing the genuine art of Japanese food culture. But that's not what we're trying to do. What we're trying to do is to persuade more and more people to explore the unique taste of Japanese food. And the best way to do so is by familiarizing them with local ingredients. So, referring to what I said at the beginning, when it comes to introducing and spreading Japanese food culture, we should not lock ourselves up in a small world, but we should be willing to make different changes. And we should be creative, and we should be imaginative. And most of all, we should be open-minded. And that is an idea worth studying. Thank you very much.
Thank you.